Opposition supporters killed in overnight clashes as Uganda president takes election lead 2 hours ago. Yoweri Museveni, in power since 1986, is seeking a seventh successive victory. At least 7 Ugandan opposition supporters were killed overnight in disputed circumstances, as President Yoweri Museveni has taken a strong lead in results from Thursday's presidential election. The opposition say they were attacked by security forces in the home of an MP in Butambala, about 55 kilometers, 35 miles, southwest of the capital, Kampala, while police blame the violence on the opposition. Figures announced by the Electoral Commission on Friday afternoon put Museveni in front with 75% of the votes, based on returns from 60% of polling stations. He is followed by opposition leader Bobi Wine on 21%. His home in Kampala has been surrounded by security forces, effectively placing him and his wife under house arrest, Wine's National Unity Platform NUP said. The internet shutdown imposed earlier in the week means news of the violence is only emerging on Friday in Uganda. Opposition MP Muwenga Kavumbi told the AFP news agency that soldiers and police fired tear gas and then live bullets at hundreds of people who were following early results at his home. 10 were killed inside my house, he said. Human rights activist Agatha Achuhair confirmed this account to the Reuters news agency. However, local police spokesperson Lydia Timoshev disputes this, maintaining police fired in self-defense after a group of NUP goons had attacked a police station and planned to overrun a tallying center. She told Reuters they were carrying machetes, axes, and boxes of matches, and said at least 7 people had been killed. Meanwhile, some local journalists say security forces have blocked them from accessing the opposition leader's home in Kampala's Majir area. Security officers have unlawfully jumped over the perimeter fence and are now erecting tents within its compound, the NUP posted on X late on Thursday. Police spokesman Katuma Rusok told local broadcaster NBS that as a presidential contestant, Wine was a person of interest, adding that the heavy security deployment around his home was for his own security. Museveni once criticized African leaders who cling to power. Now he wants a 7th term. Bobi Wine, the hounded pop star taking on Uganda's longtime president. Following the 2021 election, in which he garnered 35% of the vote, Wine was confined to his home for several days by security forces. Electoral Chief Simon Byabakama said on Friday that the vote counting had not been affected by the internet blackout imposed earlier in the week, as the commission was using a private system to transmit results from districts to the National Tally Center. Asked about the timing of the final results announcement, Byabakama said, "We are on course to announce the winner of the presidential election within 48 hours. Before 5 p.m., 1400 hours Greenwich Mean Time, tomorrow, we shall have the final results." Ugandans voted in a tense national election on Thursday after an often violent campaign, with President Museveni, 81, seeking a 7th term in office. Wine, a 43-year-old pop star turned politician, has alleged massive fraud during the election, which was held under an internet blackout. He did not provide documentary proof, and the authorities have not responded to his allegations. Last week, the United Nations Human Rights Office said that the election would be marked by widespread repression and intimidation. During Thursday's vote, voting was delayed by up to 4 hours in many polling stations around the country as ballot boxes were slow to arrive and biometric machines, used to verify voters' identity, did not work properly. Some have linked the problems to the network outage. Although there are other 6 candidates, the presidential poll is essentially a two-horse race between Museveni and Wine. But given the president has won the 6 previous elections, analysts say he is likely to further extend his time in power. Wine, who says he represents the youth in a country where most of the population is aged under 30, has promised to tackle corruption and impose sweeping reforms, while Museveni argues he is the sole guarantor of stability and progress in the country. The campaign period was marred by the disruption of opposition activities. Security forces have been accused of assaulting and detaining Wine supporters. Police spokesperson Katuma Rusok dismissed these complaints, accusing opposition supporters of being disruptive. Internet access was suspended on Tuesday, with Uganda's Communications Commission saying the blackout was necessary to prevent misinformation, fraud, and the incitement of violence, a move condemned by the UN Human Rights Office as deeply worrying. Wine, whose real name is Robert Kyagulanyi, had called on his supporters to protest if Thursday's election results were manipulated. However, as of Friday morning, there have been no signs of any demonstrations. A Museveni victory would extend the former rebel leader's 4-decade grip on power. He is widely believed to favor his son, military chief Muhoozi Kainerugaba, as his successor, though he denies grooming him for the role. The final presidential result is expected to be announced by 1600 hours local time, 1300 hours Greenwich Mean Time, on Saturday, according to the Electoral Commission.